In the previous lecture, we can explain the points, that is inhibitor. What is meant by inhibitor? Inhibitors are substances those decrease the rate of chemical reaction. For example, decomposition of hydrogen peroxide to give water and oxygen. Second example, chloroform on oxidation with oxygen to form carbonyl chloride. This is a poisonous substance that is always called a phosgene, and it can be suppressed, that is a decreased by addition of 2% ethanol to the chloroform. So here ethanol act as a inhibitor. Second, adsorption theory of heterogeneous catalysts that always discuss. It can give the 5 steps. Number 1 will be a diffusion, second one adsorption, third intermediate formation, fourth one product formation, and fifth one will be a desorption. These are the 5 steps always involved due to that mechanism. Next, important features of the catalyst. Number 1 discuss, that always discussed due to the previous lecture, catalytic activity. This catalyst always depends upon strength of chemisorption to a large extent. Second one will be a selection of catalyst. That means the selection of catalyst is always important, because here we can observe 2 chemical reaction. Reactants are similar. Only here catalyst can be changed into the first chemical reaction. Palladium in presence of alumina act as a catalyst. Oxidation of ethylene to give acetaldehyde into the second chemical reaction. Silver act as a catalyst in presence of alumina. Oxidation of ethylene gives ethylene oxide. Second one, when carbon monoxide react with hydrogen in presence of nickel act as a catalyst to form a methane. Carbon monoxide react with hydrogen in presence of catalyst like copper, form a methyl alcohol. That means selection of catalyst is very important. And third one will be a safe selective catalysis by zeolites. These zeolites are nothing but alumina silicates with a 3-dimensional network of silicates. The reactions in zeolite always depends upon size of reactant and product. Next one, what is the means by colloids? A number of substances we use in our day-to-day life are colloids. For example, milk, butter, jelly, whipped cream. Colloidal chemistry is a chemistry of everyday life. Knowledge of colloidal chemistry is essential for understanding many materials like cement, bricks, pottery, porcelain, glass, that always discussed due to the previous period. Colloids are nothing but heterogeneous mixture. The component of colloid present in large proportion, that is called a dispersion medium, and another components are called a dispersed phase. Next, difference between solution and colloid. Examples of colloids that always discuss. First one will be a blue color of the sky, second blood, third one soil, fog, mist and rain, that always discuss. Now today we can give or we can discuss the points. Classification of colloids. Classification of colloids is based on 3 ways. Number 1, classification of colloids based on physical state. Second one, classification of colloids based on interreaction of phases or affinity of phases. And number 3, classification of colloids based on their molecular size. Number 1, classification of colloids based on physical state. Here we can consider there will be present 8 types of colloids. Number 1, solid sol. Here dispersed phase is solid. Dispersion medium will be a solid. Examples are colored gases, gemstones, porcelain, paper. Second, salts and gels. In salts and gels, dispersed phase is solid. Dispersion medium will be a liquid. Examples, paints, cell fluids, gelatin, muddy water, starch solution. Third, aerosol. Dispersed phase will be a solid. Dispersion medium will be a gas. Example, smoke and dust. Types of colloids: gel. Dispersed phase is liquid. Dispersion medium will be a solid. Examples, cheese, butter, and jellies. Next types of colloids are emulsion. In emulsion, dispersed phase is liquid. Dispersion medium is liquid. Examples, milk, hair, cream. Next, aerosol. Dispersed phase is liquid. Dispersion medium is gas. Examples are fog, mist, cloud, hairsprays, insecticide sprays. Next type of colloid is solid sol. Dispersed phase is gas and dispersion medium is solid. Examples are pumic stone, foam, rubber, plaster, and last one is a foam. In case of foam, dispersed phase is gas, dispersion medium is liquid. Examples are froth, whipped cream, soap, leather. These are the diagrams of types of colloids. Different diagrams may be considered. Second, classification of colloids based on interreaction or affinity of phases. Phases means solid, liquid, and gas. Affinity means their force of attraction. Number one, here on the basis of interaction or affinity of phases, a colloidal solution is classified or divided into two types. Number one is lyophilic colloids. Number second one is lyophobic colloids. Here, if water is dispersion medium, terms hydrophilic and hydrophobic are used. Now, let us discuss. First type of colloids is a lyophilic colloids. In lyophilic colloids, lyo means liquid and philic means loving. That is called a liquid loving or solvent attracting. A colloidal solution in which the particles of dispersed phase have a great affinity for the dispersion medium are lyophilic colloids. If the lyophilic sol is evaporate, the dispersed phase separates. But if it is mixed with the medium, the sol can be formed again. Such sols are called reversible sols. They are stable and difficult to coagulate. Next one, lyophobic colloids. Lyophobic means liquid heating. Lyo means liquid and phobic means heating, which indicates that in these sols there is a little or no interaction between the two phases. Colloidal solution in which the particles of the dispersed phase have no affinity for the dispersion medium are called lyophobic colloids. For example, silver, gold, hydroxides like AlOH thrice, FeOH thrice, metal sulfides, once precipitated or coagulated, they have little tendency or no tendency to revert back to colloidal state. Next point is what is the difference between lyophilic and lyophobic colloids. Here, lyophilic colloids formed easily by direct mixing. Lyophobic colloids are formed by special methods. Lyophilic colloids are reversible. Lyophobic colloids are irreversible. Third, in lyophilic colloids, the particles are not easily visible even under ultramicroscope. The particles are easily detected under ultramicroscope in case of lyophobic colloids. Fourth one, in lyophilic colloids, these are self-stabilized. In lyophobic colloids, they are unstable and hence require traces of stabilizers. In lyophilic colloids, addition of large amount of electrolytes causes precipitation or coagulation. Addition of small amount of electrolyte causes precipitation or coagulation. Number 6, in lyophilic colloids, viscosity of dispersed phase higher than that of the dispersion medium. In lyophobic colloids, viscosity of dispersed phase is nearly same as the dispersion medium. Number 7, in lyophilic colloids, surface tension of dispersed phase is lower than dispersion medium. In lyophobic colloids, surface tension of dispersed phase is nearly the same as the dispersion medium. That is the difference between lyophilic and lyophobic colloids. Next, here, third type is classification of colloids based on molecular size. Number 1 is multimolecular colloids. Second one, macromolecular colloids. Third one, associated colloids or miscellaneous. Here, multimolecular colloids, the individual particles consist of an aggregate of atoms or small molecules with size less than 103 picometer. For example, gold sol consists of particles of various size having several gold atoms. That means here particle size is less than 103 picometer. That is a multimolecular colloids. Macromolecular colloids, the molecules of the dispersed phase are sufficiently large in size to be of colloidal dimensions. For examples are starch, cellulose, and proteins. Third type will be associated colloids or miscellaneous. The substance behaves as a normal electrolyte at low concentration and associated in higher concentration, forming colloidal solution. For example, soap and detergent. Here, soap molecules has a long hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain. That means here, hydrophobic hydrocarbon chain, and that is called as a tail. It is attached to hydrophilic ionic group carboxylate, that is called a head. In water, the soap molecules are arranged themselves to form spherical particles called as a micelle. In each micelle, the hydrophobic tails of soap molecules point to the center, and the hydrophilic head lie on the surface of the sphere. That is, soap dispersion in water is stable. Next one, here, what are the preparation of colloids? There will be used 3 methods. Number 1 will be a chemical method. Second one will be a electrical disintegration by Bradig's arc method, and third one will be a peptidization. Now, first of all, I can discuss preparation of colloids. Number 1 method, chemical method. By this method involved by double decomposition, oxidation, reduction, or hydrolysis. Oxidation means addition of oxygen. Reduction means addition of hydrogen. Hydrolysis means addition of water. Molecules of water, insoluble products of this reaction aggregate together and form a sol. That means SO2 plus 2H2S form 3 moles of sulfur and 2 moles of H2. That means here always oxidation means loss of electron as well as addition of oxygen. Always second example, this AuCl3 is called auric trichloride or gold third trichloride. When react with 3 moles of formaldehyde, always H2O, reduction takes place and form 2 moles of gold, 3 moles of formic acid and 6 moles of HCl. Into third, that is a hydrolysis reaction. Ferric chloride undergoes hydrolysis to form a ferric hydroxide. 3 moles of chloride can be replaced by 3 OH and form a 3 FeOH thrice plus 3 HCl. Second one will be a electrical disintegration by Briggs arc method. This process involves vaporization as well as condensation. Colloidal salts of metals such as gold, silver, platinum can be prepared by this method. जे कुठले कुठले metals, gold, silver, platinum can be prepared by this method. In this method, electric arc, this is the electric arc, is stuck between electrodes of metal. This is the electrodes of metal immersed in the dispersion medium. The intense heat produce vaporization of the metal. The intense heat produce vaporization of the metals. That means the intense heat produce vaporization of the metal which condense to form particles of colloidal salt. That is a electrical disintegration by Briggs arc method. Third one will be a peptidization. During peptidization, a precipitation is converted into colloidal salt by shaking with dispersion medium in the presence of small amount of an electrolyte. The electrolyte used is known as peptidizing agent. During the process, the precipitation adsorbs one of the ions of the electrolyte on its surface. Positive or negative charge is developed on the precipitate, which finally breaks up into small particles of colloidal size. Next one will be a purification of colloidal solution. Colloidal solution generally contains excessive amount of electrolyte and some other soluble impurities. A large quantity of electrolyte may result in coagulation. Hence, it is necessary to reduce soluble impurities. The process used for reducing the amount of impurities to a requisite minimum is known as purification of colloidal solution. This purification of colloidal solution is given by a method. That method is called a dialysis. It is a process of removing a dissolved substance from a colloidal solution by diffusion through a suitable membrane. The apparatus used as a dialyzer. This is a dialyzer, a bag of suitable membrane containing the colloidal solution is suspended in a vessel. Through fresh water is continuously flowing. The molecules and ions diffuse through membrane into the outer water, and pure colloidal solution is left behind. In this way, today we can discuss the points like classification of colloids based on physical state. Second one, classification of colloids based on interreaction or affinity of phases. That means it is divided into two types: lyophilic colloids, lyophobic colloids. Difference between lyophilic colloids, lyophobic colloids. Classification of colloids based on molecular size. Number one, multimolecular colloids. Second, macromolecular colloids. Third, associated colloids or miscellae. Example, soap and detergent. Next one, purification of colloids. Number one will be a chemical methods. Second one will be a electrical disintegration by Briggs arc method. Here gold, silver, platinum can be prepared by this method. And third one will be a peptidization. Purification of colloidal solution. What is means by colloidal solution? And method that can be used as a dialysis. Thank you.